Okay, what's going on, everyone? MCOC Doc here, and today I want to talk about She-Hulk. So I never got into the beta when she was around, so I'm definitely a little bit late on this, but better late than never. And oh my God, she is absolutely insanely amazing. Just absolute beast with combo utility, damage, and just all around amazing, fantastic champion now. Before I did like using her in arena every once in a while, just because of that stun going to the head. You get like a nice 4K crit or something like that. And when she was a 440, that was looking pretty good. Now, um, she rivals Ghost in terms of damage. She offers utility that is near Void level, and she offers damage that beats, like I said, Ghost. So she is absolutely insane. And today I'm going to talk about her, how to use her. She's actually incredibly simple, and she's a lot easier to use than a lot of other champions that offer this level of damage and that kind of stuff. But she really is just insane, really cool. So let's get into it. First things first, tributes. Low critical rating. You will notice this throughout the fight. Low critical rating, low critical damage rating, but your raw damage is going to be doing most of the heavy lifting there, so it doesn't really matter that much. Her dupe ability is not necessary. It does offer a bunch of nice little utility boosts there, though. Against a science champion, 65% chance for each hit to shrug off a debuff. This means you can shrug off bleed, poison, anything. Not passive degen, however, but you are going to be shrugging off some pretty big debuffs. This can be great if you're on suicides or something like that, if you may be fighting a science champion. And as Mystic, you get an increased attack rating, and your attacks cause the opponent to gain less power. This is on top of the already added class advantage, and you're really going to see the difference. With class advantage, she is an absolute beast. Cosmic, increased attack rate for every buff the opponent has. Tech, opponents suffer 55% armor up effect duration of potency minus, so I guess that might be a little bit helpful against Iron Man Infinity War, but not really. She doesn't really have anything to stop auto block. That's the one thing she's really missing. And then Mutant, 50% ability accuracy during special attacks. If you watched my Rogue video, you saw that Rogue was unable to unable to lifesteal from her with her SP1. So that's kind of how that works there. It's 50% is quite a bit, and that is at Sig 99. So that's the highest you're going to get there. First ability that she has is a passive taunt. So 15% for every personal passive fury effect. It's quite good actually, because not only do you get those furies pretty often, 11% chance, but when the opponents activate a special attack and they don't have class advantage, then you're going to refresh them. So basically, the more furies you have, the more likely they are to launch a special attack, which means the more likely you are to get the refresh. Another utility that she has is the poison immunity, keeping that from her pre-beta days. Heavy attack, this one is a little bit weird, but it is a lot of fun. If the opponent is unstoppable, the attack cannot be interrupted. If it lands, the unstoppable effect is removed, and She-Hulk gains a passive fury. This fury increases attack by 882, which is actually double exactly her regular passive fury effects. Same amount of time though, and you can still refresh this when the opponent activates special attack. They also puts a slow debuff on the opponent. This is where a big portion of her utility comes in. The slow debuff is new, available on her and Spider-Gwen, I think only to my knowledge, maybe on newer champions as well, but it wasn't introduced during the beta. The slow debuff reduces the ability accuracy of unstoppable and evade effects by 100%. However, natural class advantage, again, skill cannot be slow. So she really gets a lot of... She really isn't as effective against skill champions at all. Not only are you not able to refresh your fury effects, but you can't slow. So maybe a champion like I'm trying to think of a skill champion. Black Widow, for example, is still going to be evading against you. With you just can't even place that slow debuff on them. Another skill champion, maybe Aegon. I think he has Unstoppable. That may just be a node from Uncollected. That was the last time I fought a big Aegon. All right, always active. This one is really great, really cool, and a lot of help as well. She-Hulk's personal fury effects and all stun debuffs. Her stuns don't happen as often anymore. She used to have a stun on all three of her specials, but now I believe it's only on her SP3. Yes. 50% longer, great for the Furies, and based on the size of the opponent. So the larger the opponent is, the larger that the effect lasts. So this means that against champions like, say, Juggernaut, not only are you going to have the slow debuff stop their Unstoppable, but you're also going to have 50% longer Fury duration to a 12-second duration. Special Attack 1 will give you a Fury effect, same regular 11% Fury, the same as the 11% Fury chance one. And then you're also 75% chance to exhaust the opponent, so it's on every hit, so you can get multiple exhaustions, and a reduced critical hit rate, and the potency of their power gain effects by 25%. So you stack 2 at the 50% power gain effect reduction. So great against someone like Hyperion if you fight him very often. Her SP2 though is even better. 100% chance to inflict a petrified debuff lasting for 15 seconds. This is incredibly long, and not only does it reduce the power gain rate by a flat 115%, but it also reduces their regeneration, which means that every time the opponent regens, they're going to be taking 15% of that health as damage instead. It's direct damage, and this is just great. Really helpful, great utility, and just a great addition to She-Hulk's already amazing utility. Finally, Special Attack 3, 100% chance to stun for 3.5 seconds, and you have a 100% chance to inflict weakness, reducing the target's attack by 65%. Big reduction, 14% duration. This isn't really that helpful. I guess if you're taking a lot of block damage and you have that SP3, then you can use it and it'll be pretty helpful. Alright, synergies. So synergies, she has a couple pretty interesting ones. First off, with 3 different Hulks, you can gain a 20% potency for your personal Fury effects. Really helpful, it's just going to be doing more damage. Legal defense with Daredevil. All champions gain 15% stun ability accuracy. This would have helped She-Hulk a while ago, but it doesn't really help her anymore. It's just adding to that SP3 stun ability accuracy for She-Hulk. For Daredevil, it's helpful. But you also are going to get a 15% duration for your personal Fury passive effects. So that's pretty good. And then there's a couple of various synergies, even one with the Nihilist that was just recently added. But nothing really of note there. So I think that's it for her abilities. Let's hop into some absolutely mad gameplay, show her off with no synergies first, and then we'll hop into Rumble Legends to show her with full synergies, full power, full kill mode. Okay, so I've got a collection of about 10 minutes worth of gameplay to show you, but to give you an idea of just how good that is, that includes 2 complete Rumble Legends fights. So first thing first up, we're going to do some questing though. This month's Uncollected. First thing you notice against Cap is I'm purposely hitting through shield to get a couple of these fatigue debuffs, and then I'm purifying them right after. You see we get one there, and then 1 hit later, it's immediately restored. It's great. This is probably like the least helpful use of it, just to restore those fatigue debuffs, but it really can do some really helpful, I think, against bleed nodes and that kind of stuff, where you just need to shrug it off once. It does only work against science champions though, so it's not as helpful as it could be, but against someone like if you're fighting a Void in Alliance War, it could be pretty interesting. Next up, we got a Daredevil here. We're going to showcase not refreshing the Fury buffs. Trying to bait out his SP1 during Fury buff, and you see nothing refreshes. Definitely the biggest downside to She-Hulk. This would be really bad, I think, against class role reversal. I'm not sure if that would work to her abilities like that and go all the way in, so that she wouldn't have class advantage. So that against Mystic champions it would reverse like that, but you would also get the increased attack damage against Mystic champions though, because they're still Mystic. Can't change that. 2 fights down, no hits taken so far. So now against Cosmics, they're going to get the increased buff, increased attack for every buff that they have. That's not really going to show that much here. One thing that I do really like about She-Hulk is her animations. They're incredibly smooth. They always have been. Especially her heavy attack in particular is really easy, and I intercept a couple times with it. Partially on accident, but during one of the Realm of Legends fights here. We do pretty good damage with a couple Fury buffs, just short of a 900 medium no crit, 2k with a crit there. So that is pretty good for a 4-star to start off. I've used this quest as the second quest of this month's Uncollected Cull Obsidian boss a couple times. I didn't actually get to the Cull. I didn't actually do anything with the Cull fight this time, because I knew I was trying to bait out his SP1 and got smacked immediately. Now against Black Bolt, that increased attack per buff is actually doing something. Because he's actually gaining buffs, Gamora would have had to hit me to gain her buffs. We're going to get a little bit of increased attack every single time. So we now have 4 of those. I think it's like about 400 increased attack. And we hit for a 3k there with 6 Furies. Already doing some really cool damage. And this is only 30-something hits into a fight. The longer the fight goes on, she really does get that ramp up. And it is pretty necessary to get. I think with her, like I said before, it's really good because you can play aggressive. You have that taunt, which the more you have, 5 of them is going to be what a 75% increased chance for the opponent to throw a special attack. So the more aggressive you play, the more Furies you get, the more likely the opponent is to throw a special, and the more damage you're doing while you're attacking into them. Only 29 hits here. This is going to be the last one where we're going. No synergies at all. Then we're going to start using her synergies, so we're going to get increased potency, increased duration on them, and a couple critical synergies as well. Red Hulk is a good place to show off. You can already see the increased Fury duration there. Another thing to note is her Furies are passive. I just brushed over briefly, but that means that they can't be nullified, which is really helpful if you're fighting against someone who does nullify a lot of buffs, like say Doctor Strange. You're not going to be losing them randomly. One thing is, he's hitting me for a lot here, and this is actually why I didn't actually end up surviving long against Cull Obsidian. But his physical resist is also hurting a lot because She-Hulk has that really low critical rate that I touched upon earlier. We really weren't doing any damage until we crit there. Alright, now for the fun fights. Captain Marvel Classic. I skipped over Winter Soldier. I took the fight with 6-star Gamora instead, just because I can't get those Fury refreshes, so there's really no point in showing it. First Fury, we don't get the refresh on, so I just play aggressive again. Captain Marvel is definitely a little bit easier to fight, I think, just because both of her specials are dodgeable. 45% extra chance to throw that special, and she does right away. And now we're in a pretty good rhythm. We have a good amount of Furies, so she has a pretty good chance. And now we're going to start getting really aggressive. We do make a couple mistakes here. I think that might be the only one actually in this fight. In the next fight, I make a lot more. But we're just trying to play aggressive, keep our Furies up, keep her about a bar of power when we're about halfway done with our Furies. We get none of the benefit of the increased Fury duration based on size in this fight. So we definitely have to play the most aggressive that you can. Captain Marvel is classified as small, so I get none of that max 50%. Against a medium champion, I'd probably get something like 10%, but I'm getting nothing in this. Already up to 15 though, and how's a 28k SP2 final hit sound. That's only up to 15 Furies so far. I think by the end of this fight, we actually have it close to doubled. At this point, with 20 Furies, I believe that is a 300% increased chance, from, if my math is going right, 15 times 20. So she's going to be throwing a special every opportunity that she sees, and we're just going to be absolutely smacking her down. We're only 70 hits in, plus I think we hit like 20 before that, and she's absolutely getting destroyed. We're hitting for 7,000 mediums, criticals, 2k light, no crit is, you saw a couple 6ks, and a 10k medium. This is a 4-star. This is a 4-star max hitting for 10k plus mediums. Now we're hitting for 11ks, SP2, 46,000 on the second hit, critical. Play a little bit aggressive there, end up with a 7,000 for a total of only 150 hits. That's faster than Spark can do sometimes. That's just insane. Now, how about with that class advantage? We'll use the heavy attack there to get rid of the Unstoppable. He doesn't actually have it at the start of a fight because this is a very old Juggernaut. But we are going to be using the heavy attack a lot, along with getting the slow debuff on him to reduce his chance for that. Already up to 5 Furies, so he's going to have a pretty high chance of learning specials. And you can see we're intercepting with that heavy attack. I love the heavy attack's animation because of that. It's really easy to intercept with. And we also gained a Fury from it. You can see that Fury refreshed itself with a rest. Because it is Mystic, we did gain that just under 700 attack. Another heavy attack to get rid of that. We just keep refreshing the slow debuffs. She's an absolute Juggernaut killer. This fight's going to go even faster than the last one, so I'm just trying to keep up with my commentary. 12k on a already up to 7k's mediums. We're just absolutely shredding him. Yeah, having class advantage plus that extra buff there. I missed my heavy attack there. I'm not sure what was with that. I think it's because he stunned us. That technically stopped it. That happens a couple more times, but it didn't happen there. We got through it. So basically, during her heavy attack, if the opponent is unstoppable, She-Hulk's unstoppable. That's the best way I can describe it. It's only when they're unstoppable that you won't be able to get stopped by the attack here. Happens again that he stuns me there. And it's only on that, and I think that's even only a Realm of Legends thing. I'm getting beat up here, but I'm keeping all my Furies. Stop another heavy attack there, get rid of the Unstoppable for even more increased attack. I think you saw a 6k crit there. Slow debuff, no Unstoppable. We're just going in. No crits there. Her low crit rate I think her low crit rate and how she fights against skilled champions are definitely her two biggest downsides. Other than that, she is just absolutely insane. Up to 22 Furies now, 12k medium. Definitely doing more damage against him. 70k in 2 hits. I was talking about something else, but I can't just brush over that. 70k in 2 hits is just insane. Missed heavy attack there. I forget where I was going with that before, but we're getting a little bit beat up here. Definitely a much more scuffed fight than previous ones, but we're just doing some insane damage here. SP2. Again, no crit, but it's still 17k. He used it just at the right time to get the refresh, and we get him down in 126 hits. Insane. Absolutely insane. So let's finish it up on the spreadsheet here. You can see both of the fights we just did compared to all the other 4-stars. And She-Hulk regularly did 150 hits against that Cosmic Captain Marvel, so we didn't get any of the buff from her signature ability. Captain Marvel, I think, only gained like 1 Fury throughout the whole fight, and she doesn't gain any buffs when being hit. So we didn't really gain that. And She-Hulk hit for 3644 average. And because that was a lot of a less scuffed fight, very clean fight, I think only got hit once, we ended up with a 226 time to kill, just insanely quick. And then against Juggernaut, you get that class advantage, you get that buff that she gets from her signature ability, and we averaged 4,300. Damn, 4,300 per hit. Compare that to Ghost. Ghost on the best day against Winter Soldier, I managed to get 3751. So She-Hulk with no class advantage almost beats it out. And then to top it off, when she does have class advantage, she shreds it. Basically no competition. Like, I thought Ghost was insane with a largest single hit of 32. And then She-Hulk hits him with, what was that, a 55? A 22 and then a 55 immediately following each other. That's in thousand, by the way. 22,000, 55,000. Technically, Ghost does do 3 hits, but she absolutely can compete with some of the highest damage dealing champions in the game. Her ramp up is a lot simpler than Ghost 2. This probably took me like 50 tries. This is my first try against Juggernaut. You could see just how bad it was, but She-Hulk's damage is just insane. It's above everything. It's above any other 4-star that I've seen. Maybe Star-Lord beats her. The ramp up is about as simple, but you don't have any of the utility that She-Hulk offers. So just to sum things up, She-Hulk is an absolute god now. She has the insane damage, as I've shown. She has the utility in her slow debuff, her exhaustion. Her passive taunt is really good. Just all around an absolutely insane champion. If you have her, even as a 4-star, she is a really good option for a lot of content. I just showed her shred through Realm of Legends 2 fights, and those were scuffed. I could have done a lot better. I'm sure you guys can do a lot better as well, just with a little bit of time and effort. She's definitely worth it now that the beta's over. Like I said, I'm wicked late on this, I know, but she's insane. I definitely should have gotten some gameplay on the beta, but hey, better late than never. Absolutely insane. Take a look at her. She doesn't even need her dupe ability. It is a pretty big bonus, especially when fighting Mystic Champions, but it's not necessary at all. So if you have She-Hulk, take another look at her. Give her a rank up. Absolutely insane option. Great for Science Awakening gems as well if you already have Void. Although personally I'm not a fan of Void, not a fan of Cap Infinity War, so that's just my thoughts on it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you have any suggestions for champions in the future, again, please let me know. 2 on my list now that have been asked of me that I have been unable to fulfill. Been unable to fulfill any that have actually been asked. But Venom the Duck and the Thing are 2 on my list. I have Awakening Gems if I get them, and I will do a video on those 2 when I eventually get them. But for now, I don't have them, but I am still looking for more recommendations that hopefully I'll actually be able to fulfill. So let me know in the comments what you think. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.